Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here at the State of the City Luncheon. If you haven't been to a State of the City before, this is the event where I, the mayor, take credit for all of your good work. So thank you to the Evanston Chamber of Commerce for inviting me to do that again this year. I was told that my speech was a bit long last year, except for my parents. They thought it wasn't long enough. Isn't that true, Lisa? So this year, a staff member recommended I bring Amazon Alexa with me on stage and have it set up here with a timer for 20 minutes. There's no way I'm going to let the government listen in on this speech. But I will try to stick to 20 minutes. I will. One reason I love this event, besides the fact that I got a captive audience for 20 minutes, is that it brings together so many people in our community who contribute to the economic and social vitality that exists here. Looking around, I see business owners, I see educators, I see elected officials, and I see city staff. I see volunteers, I see people who raise the bar in Evanston, and I see all of you together in one room. That doesn't happen enough. Getting doers and helpers and builders and creators in one room. I want to encourage all of you to take the opportunity to say hello to someone new today or to someone you've always wanted to meet. Lay the foundation for future partnerships which will move this city forward. Moving forward, progress, is the theme of this year's luncheon. It's a fitting theme because today is not only the State of the City, it's also International Women's Day. And we have quite a few women in this audience today, and I'm pleased that this year I'm not competing against another woman like I was last year, Chelsea Clinton, who was speaking at the same time that I gave the State of the City last year. She had an audience of like 2,000 Evanston students. As mayor, I've been fortunate to follow in the footsteps of 3 women who have made progress in our community. They're featured in the centerpieces that each of you have on the table. There's Mayor Joan Barr there, also a Syracuse alum. There is Mayor Lorraine Morton, should be a photo of her on your table, a Northwestern alum. Are there no Northwestern alum here to celebrate the fact that she was a Northwestern alum? And Mayor Tisdall is on your table. I'm not sure what college you went to though, Liz. Let's acknowledge all 3 of these leaders with a round of applause. Think about it. For 32 consecutive years, this city was led by a woman. Something to celebrate. While Mayor Morton's absence is notable, her spirit and her optimism for Evanston truly fills this room. Evanston has always been home to incredible women who've made lasting contributions to our community, our country, and our world, including Frances Willard, who fought for women's rights, including the right to vote, which will be 100 years next year in 2020, world-renowned botanist and conservation advocate Marjorie Carlson, and Mame Spencer, our first African-American alderman, and many others. Evanston women continue to make history today, and I would like to take a moment to acknowledge some of them in this room. If you would hold your applause and if you would remain standing when I call you. Mayor Tisdall, would you please stand up? Can we have our past and present female city council members stand up? 6 of our 9 aldermen here in Evanston are women, begging the question why we call them aldermen. But that's for another day. But I see, can you stay standing there, Alderman? I'd like Alderman Grover and Alderman Holmes. You guys keep standing here too. We have our female city department directors, managers, and staff. Would they all please stand up and stay standing? We got a whole table full of them. Come on, you guys, let's not be bashful here. Can we have all of our women business owners in Evanston please stand up? Can we have all of our state representatives and state senators stand up? Which, by the way, we have 5 between the 2, state reps and state senators. We have 5 that represent Evanston. For the first time ever, all 5 are women. How about that, Evanston? Can we have, that's something to clap on, even though I asked you guys to hold your applause, but that is something to clap on. Can we have women that are on boards of directors and staffs of community organizations? Please stand up. Man, don't make me go out there and have to point to you guys and get certain people to stand up here. All right? Can we have all of our women educators please stand up? All right? And can we have all other women that have contributed to our community please stand up? Would you please stand up? All right, let's give them a big round of applause. I can think of no other better visual of progress than the leaders in this room that are here today and those women that were standing up. And the fact is we could use some inspiration. 2018 was a difficult year. I have some angry emails and Facebook messages to prove it. I'm just glad that 300 people showed up today to celebrate our achievements, to reaffirm our commitment to working hard to solve our problems and our challenges, and listening to a mayor that one resident described recently as an unqualified, clueless, greedy idiot. If you're in this room, you don't need to stand up. We don't need everybody standing up right now. But jokes and insults aside, it was a challenging year. We went through a difficult budget process that required tough decisions and shared sacrifice. If you drove here this morning and paid for street parking, you shared some of that sacrifice. If you didn't pay for parking and you get a ticket, you'll share even more in that sacrifice. Don't worry, it is for an important cause. Our city is worth it. In the end, we did pass a balanced budget that will allow us to continue to provide the services that our residents expect and continue to invest in the future of our city. If you had a chance to look at the annual report, which was on all of your chairs, you've seen that despite our challenges, we got a lot done in 2018. Our fire department achieved a Class 1 fire protection rating, placing it in the top 1% of all fire departments across this country. Pretty impressive. Evanston became the first city in Illinois to target 100% renewable electricity for all properties by 2030 by adapting the Climate Action and Resilience Plan. That's worth the clap. And who's the state's largest municipal composting program? You guessed it, Evanston. Who knew? I didn't even know that. And then that's in my speech. No, we are the largest. I mean, think about that. We are real leaders in the environment. And I would like to acknowledge 7th Ward Alderman Eleanor Revelle, who is a leader on our city council on environmental causes. So thank you, Eleanor. Evanston's Lifeguard Service became the only certified lifeguard agency on the Great Lakes. Think about that for a minute. There are more than 120 cities that have joined the Great Lakes, and only Evanston has a certified lifeguard agency. If you're asking yourself, how is that? You can come up to me after, and I'll explain how that is. But it's impressive, and what it means is hopefully, that our beaches are really safe places, and they have been for quite some time. Perhaps you rode your bike to the city, to the mayor's luncheon today along the new bike path on Sheridan Road. If you did, then you just rode your bike on one of America's top 10 best bikeways in the entire country, according to People for Bikes. And I know there were a few of you that rode your bikes in December on a very, very frigid evening with me to the Christmas tree lighting, so thank you for doing that. Speaking of bikes, we partner with Divvy to add 3 new bike stations at a substantial discount. Thank you, Oak Park. And we launched the Divvy for Everyone program, providing $5 memberships to income-qualified residents here in Evanston. New murals and sculptures brightened our facilities, our parks, and our viaducts. One of my favorite new murals is on the wall of the Gibbs Morrison Cultural Center, thanks to the leadership of Alderman Robin Rue Simmons, who's making great progress in the 5th Ward. Our museums wowed and educated us with arts and artifacts, including the Block Museum's amazing Caravans of Gold exhibit. Fleetwood Jourdain was nominated for 9 Black Theater Alliance awards. We are truly a city that's rich in culture. Evanston has long had one of the area's most vibrant downtowns. Now with the Fountain Square renovations complete, we'll have one of the most active downtown spaces on the North Shore with outdoor fitness classes, concerts, events, and the final and most important ingredient coming this spring, water. Also an inside joke, unless you've been paying attention to that. So we will have water, and the fountains are going to be amazing. Finally, in July, we broke ground on a brand new Robert Crown Community Center and Library, which has been a vision of this community for more than a decade. I want to acknowledge the 1,048 community members so far who've pledged more than $12 million to make this project a reality. It shows just how important. That's worth a clap, absolutely. It shows just how important this project is, not just to a handful of people, but to our entire community. Thank you to the Friends of Robert Crown and all who've supported this project. I'm proud to have two of those leaders here today, Dan Stein and Pete G. and Greco. You two here? Thank you for your leadership. This is a big undertaking. We haven't had a new facility in this city since really the last really big, amazing one that we did, which was the Evanston Public Library, which we have a whole table of our wonderful folks at the library, and that's a pretty amazing facility, and I think we'll see the same with this new Crown. The City Council didn't make this decision to build a new Robert Crown lightly. An independent financial analysis was conducted by a credentialed and respected former CFO, that might be in this room today, to make sure our City Council was comfortable taking on the additional debt to pay for this project. And it's true, it will require significant ongoing investment from our city. It may mean reallocating city assets, which we're going to take a look at, but it's an investment that will pay dividends for decades to come for residents and families of this community. As Daniel Burnham, an Evanston resident, once said, "Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's bloods, and probably themselves will not be realized. Make big plans, aim high, and work and hope." Looking over there at you Evanston Community Foundation people, you use that quote all the time. And it's true, we are aiming high with the new Robert Crown Community Center. When it opens later this year, the center will provide early childhood education programming. That wasn't a setup. State-of-the-art athletic facilities and a branch library. That wasn't set up, and that's good. All right, a branch library, all under one roof. It's truly unique community center. It will provide Evanston with the first public turf athletic fields. As a city, we'll replace our city's most rundown community center with its crown jewel. That is progress. None of these accomplishments were achieved by a single individual. They all required collaboration between people, departments, and institutions. With our city and our state's challenges, partnerships are essential to continuing to make progress in Evanston. If you played basketball at Harbert Park lately, you know that the progress is needed there. The court surface is rough, the lines are non-existent, and I've been unable to make my deadly Haggerty hook against my 4'6", 11-year-old. It needs some work. Last year, we allocated $100,000 to renovate the basketball court using a portion of Northwestern's $1 million Good Neighbor Fund. The city leveraged that initial $100,000 that Northwestern offered and went after a state grant which secured an additional $320,000. Now, not only will we renovate the basketball court, we're going to renovate the entire park. That's smart planning. And that's the way we need to keep thinking about leveraging money here in this community. That renovation wouldn't have been possible without Northwestern University's contribution. I want to thank President Shapiro and Northwestern for your support. Evanston with another one, that's worth it, absolutely. Evanston continued to support Evanston with a $1 million contribution in 2019. And Morty, I do like the purple sweater, and they have no jokes in this speech about your purple sweater this year. I think that might be the first time ever. In 2019, the Good Neighbor Fund will support many important projects, including paramedic services, workforce development, youth outreach, and library programming. It will also support the development of a Parks and Recreation Master Plan and the early implementation of climate action and resiliency planning. Together, these projects comprise $850,000 of Northwestern's $1 million contribution. Today, I'm proud to announce that the remaining $150,000 will be allocated to improvements at Lovelace Park, our city's third and most used park. That funding will help replace aging playground equipment, greatly improving the experience for hundreds of families with young children that use that park regularly. We've made tremendous progress in expanding the number of water customers we serve. This year, Lincolnwood became the 10th community to purchase its fresh, clean water from Evanston. Just before New Year's, we turned on the valve supplying Niles and Morton Grove, which will generate more than $500,000 a year for our city budget. In 2018, we delivered more than 15 billion gallons of fresh, clean drinking water. That's billion with a B for Evanston. 15 billion come out of that plant. That's incredible. Let's raise our glasses to Darrell King, Dave Stoneback, and the water production team. Drink some of that fresh water. I could use a little. Sam Seiler is an Evanston Township High School student who's a member of a team as part of our water production operator and training program. Not only is Sam earning academic credit, he's getting hands-on experience in a rewarding career. I'm honored to have Sam here with me today. Stand up, Sam, as a guest at my table. Sam is a senior at ETHS, and he and I were talking at the table, looking forward to moving into a career in water production and distribution. And by the way, these are good careers. Next Saturday, we'll host the 27th annual Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program Job Fair at ETHS. 1,000 summer and year-round jobs will be available. If you know an Evanston teenager who needs a job this summer, make sure they attend. For most of us, our first job is the first time our hard work translates into something we all need, a paycheck. As a bonus, teenagers will also get to meet Alderman Peter Braithwaite and Alderman Cicely Fleming, who both work tirelessly on youth and young adult issues. Rashid Bakari, an ETHS senior, has participated on our summer youth employment program for the last 3 years as a member of our community maintenance team. I'm proud to have Rashid as my guest at my table today. Welcome, Rashid. Stand on up. All right, Rashid, did I also mention Rashid is an honor roll student and previously played basketball for ETHS's basketball team. He was a terrific basketball player. And by the way, if you're thinking ETHS basketball, there's a big game tonight, all right, at Niles North at 7 p.m. Go Kits. We also have 3 ETHS AP government students joining us here today, thanks to Fishel Dental and Alum Insurance. They're here with their teacher, Darlene Gordon. Please welcome, and would you guys stand up? Jack Rutstein, Rebecca Lutzig, and Omarion Williams. Yeah. Now, I hope all 3 of you, but at least one of you, is thinking after this AP government thing that you might want to run for office someday. We need some good people. We need some good people in office. So you heard what somebody said about me. We clearly need some good people in office. All young people need opportunities. All of us in this room had opportunities presented to us. This June, as part of our Elevate Evanston initiative, we launched the Mayor's Employer Advisory Council to develop sustainable career pathways for youth seeking alternatives to a 4-year college degree. Under the leadership of Neil Gambo, who's my guest here today. Thank you, Neil. More than 60 employers and organizations are working together with the goal of moving 100 Evanston youth directly into careers with local employers each and every year. That's progress. And there are many great opportunities here in Evanston. The city's office vacancy rate is under 5%. That's less than half of downtown Chicago and significantly less than nearby suburbs. It's so low, in fact, that President Trump is thinking of building an office building here. That was my favorite joke in the whole speech. We had 3 different versions, and that was the final one. I thought that was the best. Now, of course, I'm just kidding. President Trump is too busy being president to go build a new building here in downtown Evanston. Our office vacancy rate, though, is low for a reason. People want to be here, they want to work here, they want to visit here, and they want to live here. This summer, Canal Shores in Space hosted, with the city's blessing, the Out of Space concert series, bringing world-class performers like Mavis Staples, the Indigo Girls, Dinosaur Jr. to our city. I hope we can replicate that wonderful outdoor festival again this year at Canal Shores. Northwestern football went bowling again, defeating Utah in the Holiday Bowl. I'm now 2 for 2 in my friendly wagers with opposing mayors. So far, winning bourbon and craft beer. By the time I'm done being mayor, I might have a full liquor cabinet. Residential developments are underway on Emerson, Sherman, and Oak, which will bring approximately 1,000 new residents to Evanston. Those residents will make our city more vibrant, contribute to our tax base, and support our businesses, including 45 new ones that opened their doors last year, including Binny's, Industrious Co-working, and Booked, the cutest kids bookstore on the North Shore. I'm proud to have Chelsea Elward, the entrepreneur that started Booked. Stand up, Chelsea, as my guest today. If you haven't been to Booked, you really need to go. Literally, they have like the cutest door. It's like 3 foot high, and I see a lot of adults going in that way. But not me, I'm too mature for that. One of our city's newest businesses is on Howard Street. Last year, a few dilapidated city-owned storefronts were transformed on Howard Street into the Howard Street Theater. Building the theater was an investment. It required risk, it required vision, it required Alderman Ann Rainey's leadership, it required finding the right theater company to collaborate with. But we did it. Just walk down Howard Street, at least on the Evanston side, and you'll see progress. You'll even see new banners. Now we need Chicago to match our efforts, and we're looking forward to working with Chicago's new 49th Alderwoman. See that? I've already moved to the Alderwoman, yeah. Maria Haddon, who's just won. Joe Moore held that office for 28 years and did a great job and was a great partner, but we're gonna have a new partner, Maria Haddon. Safety in the Howard Street area is one of our new police chief's top priorities. Chief Cook, welcome back to Evanston. We're happy to have you. Over the last decade, our community has gotten progressively safer. Last year, there were 1,000 fewer major crimes reported than there was a decade ago, a decrease of nearly 40%. Ridge Avenue is safer too. There's been a 13% decrease in vehicle crashes on Ridge, thanks to a reduced speed limit, traffic signal changes, and efforts to improve visibility. My thanks to Alderman Don Wilson, the neighbors, and the Evanston Police Department for implementing actions to make Ridge a safer road. Even if it takes all of us 20 minutes now to get across town. Our police department continues to work on fostering community relations and understanding. In October, EPD held its first ever 5-0 fitness event, partnering with Fitness Matrix. I was sore for a week after that event, but it was in the name of progress. Just as we value public safety, we also value our socioeconomic diversity. People come to Evanston because they want to live among people who are different from them. Much can be gained from our community and our world when people of different incomes and races and ethnicities live among one another. Most importantly, that experience makes us truly understand that we're no different from one another despite our race or our income or our ethnicity. Growing our supply of affordable housing is key to helping maintain that diversity in Evanston. Last year, we established an affordable housing steering committee to help guide our city's efforts. We need to have a housing plan in Evanston that's as impactful as our climate action plan. We have made progress. Our inclusionary housing ordinance was amended to encourage on-site affordable units, particularly near transit. We've worked hard to get developers to put those units into the developments themselves by increasing the in lieu of fee up to $175,000 and making other changes. Since 2016, $2.5 million has been generated for our affordable housing fund, and 17% of units in Evanston are now considered affordable. That's above the 10% state mandate, but our city council is unwavering in its commitment to meet the needs of our community and continue to make Evanston affordable. Despite all of this progress, there are issues that I and the council are concerned about. Our city's budget challenges are real, and they're not going away in the near future. We can say the same for the state. Our sales tax revenue is stagnant and has been for some time with the rise of online shopping, and that's despite Target coming to downtown and they're doing great, and Binny's and all of that. Our building permit revenue is expected to be $5 million less than it was in 2016 due to the natural slowdown in construction on Northwestern's campus. Property taxes are burdening homeowners, landowners, and renters. And homeowners will be mailed updated county assessments next week, which may bring unexpected changes. We can address these challenges, but it will require courage and conviction. We will have to continue to convert an old economy tax system into a tax system for the new economy. One way we have adapted this is by taxing rideshare services. That tax is expected to generate close to $700,000 this year, providing a new and important revenue stream in line with the new economy to make up for stagnant or declining revenues in other areas. We also became the first Illinois community to adopt a graduated real estate transfer tax. This was voted on by the voters of Evanston and passed significantly. This tax is anticipated to generate additional revenue in the coming years on large, multi-million-dollar real estate transactions. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention the opportunities that exist in our community. These too will require hard work and commitment and vision, but they could be transformative. I want a performing arts theater in downtown Evanston. I'm looking at you, Northlight. A lot of people want that. I want an adaptive, functional reuse of Harley Clark that creates a special place for residents and visitors alike. But in order to get that, we have to have a more thoughtful and thorough process. And we have to acknowledge that we're not going to have perfect consensus on this. We don't have that on any issue. This has been an issue that's been around for a long time, but it is an opportunity. But we've got to be smart and thoughtful about how we move forward on that. I want a CTA Purple line that is eventually modernized along with the red line. And to do so, we need a big lift from our federal and our state partners. I want a community that doesn't just talk about equity and empowerment, but practices it in all facets of its decision making. And lastly, I want a community that does more to provide holistic and integrated mental health services. Not until I became mayor did I realize the extent of mental health issues in this city. And it's a real issue. And it is an opportunity, but it's going to require a lot of hard work. And it is becoming a crisis for a lot of families and a lot of people, and we need to do more to address that. Let me conclude by saying that while there's no shortage of challenges and opportunities facing our city, there's no shortage of people ready to step up and address them. A lot of them are in this room right now. In November, 67% of Evanston residents went to the polls for the gubernatorial election, the highest in more than 2 decades. Kudos to Clerk Reed for helping to get out the vote. That tells me that Evanston residents are invested in their community and in their state. They're invested in democracy, they're ready for progress, and they know that progress can't wait. Progress can't wait for a new president to take action on the climate. Progress can't wait for community centers to crumble before we invest in new ones. Progress can't wait for the next recession to grow our tax base and provide career opportunities for our youth. Progress can't wait for perfection. Just ask any of the women in this room who've broken barriers and made progress in an imperfect world. Today, I can say that our state of this city is strong because of the people in this room and in this community. I know that if we continue to work together, collaborate, and form partnerships, we'll continue to meet our challenges. We'll continue to be a leader among cities nationwide, and we'll continue to make progress in this community that we all love. Thank you for all of your hard work that each of you do each and every day. Let's continue to move forward in progress. Thank you.